Hi everyone. It's time for some math. We did our number talks last week on the number one. Number one is so easy, I'm not going to do another number talks. We're just going to go ahead and work on the pages today. All right, so again, I'm going to say last week we had some kids doing seesaw activities and not the lessons on Canvas. I know it's confusing, parents. I wish we could just have one platform. I wish we could just put everything on Seesaw, but they're kind of requiring us to have Canvas so that everybody has a home page to go to. And if I put them on Seesaw, what would happen is they get buried because it's a feed. And on Canvas, you know, it's a home page where you have everything together. So I'm going to have to just call some people this week and they'll have some catching up to do. All right, so we've already done these pages. If you haven't done them, then you'll have some catching up to do. Because last week we did the number one, the watermelon page. We traced these with rainbow colors. We just did this little super easy little counting page. We did this page. And today we're going to do two more. Now, I did say that they kind of range in difficulty. This one isn't too hard, but the last page is a little hard. I think we have time to do them both, okay? All right, so your name is already on the front, so it doesn't really have to be here, but if you want to practice writing your name, I'll write Mrs. Jenkins up here. All right, this is our fishbowl page, and we have one for every number. So once you guys get good at this, you're going to say, hey, you don't have to give me directions anymore. We know how to do it. Okay, there's just tracing. Just trace the number ones. Just be sure you start at the top. And remember, boys and girls, we don't make this on the number one. You've probably seen ones like this before with the little stick, the little slanted line. But we don't make them that way because that's confusing. It almost looks like a 7. And so I'm going to erase that one. I don't want you to make it that way. Just do it as straight as you can. All right, now I know it looks like there's room in between to make some, but really we're going to move over to this side. This says trace, this says write, and there's a dot for you. So there's a dot to make a number one. Oh, again, I forgot to tell you, those came out of your math folder, okay? The yellow folder with the math packets. And let me move that out of the way because it makes my paper a little bumpy. Okay, now there is already a space there. Okay, in fact, there's probably 2 finger space. So don't make 100 of them. You just put one wherever you see the dot. That's where you put one. I think there might be room for one more, even though there's not a dot. So look, I believe in quality, not quantity. Sometimes kids kind of sit down and they want to make 100. Now we want you to write a nice and neat 2 finger space. Nice and neat 2 finger space, as straight as you can, 2 finger space, okay? So you don't need to make 50 of them, you just need to take your time. It says rainbow write. So rainbow write is usually using all the rainbow colors, but I tell the kids just pick 3, all right? Not black, not brown, but 3 rainbow colors. So I'm gonna choose the first 3 rainbow colors in the rainbow, red, orange, yellow. And I'm gonna trace the one with red. I'm gonna go back over it with orange. And I'm going to go back over it with yellow. So rainbow write, but only 3 colors, not all 6. Okay, now it says to color 1 circle. This is like a 10 frame. You just don't see the boxes. But if we count them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're not coloring them all because we're working on the number 1. So this is what I want you to do. Okay, we have the kids do this. We give them 1 counter, only 1. Put it in a little cup. And if you don't have a little cup, you can find anything. They could just shake it in their hand like that, like a dice. But I like the little cup because I can put my hand over it, I can shake it, and I'm going to roll it out. Now, whatever color that lands on, I'm going to put it over here, and that's the color I'm going to color, okay? And there's a reason for it, okay? So I'm going to only color 1 because the number's 1. And mine landed on yellow. If it lands on red, you're going to color that red. So don't choose pink, don't choose purple, don't choose orange, don't choose your favorite color. It should be either red or yellow, okay? And there's a reason, and I will tell you. I'll tell you right now, you don't have to write this, boys and girls, but since I'm kind of far away from the board, okay, I got 1 yellow and 0 red. I didn't get any red because there's only 1, okay? And now this is called a plus sign. It also means and. And you don't have to do that now. You're going to do it on the other page. Now, I can flip that around, okay? So how many reds did I get? 0. How many yellows did I get? 1. So we show them this, okay? How do we make, there's 2 different ways to make 1. I could get 1 yellow and 0 red. I could have 0 red and 1 yellow, okay? The kids don't need to write that. It says draw 1 fish in the fish tank. I'll show you how I like to make a fish, right? Now, because there's only 1, you could make a big fish. But when we get to the 10, then your fish have to be kind of small because there won't be enough room, right? All right, so I'm just gonna start with a circle or an oval. And it doesn't matter what side, I'm gonna put a triangle. So I'm gonna slant up, straight down, and slant back. So far, I have an oval with a triangle at the end. This is the fish's body, and this is the fish's tail. Now I need an eyeball, I need a little mouth, and I need a fin here. Now the other fin would be on the other side so you don't really see it, right? You can even kind of draw some lines on that, make it fancy, and maybe I'll do some bubbles there because he has to breathe, right? Now you can also do, maybe there's a little something at the bottom, some sand or some rocks in a fishbowl, colored rocks. Maybe there's some seaweed, plants. If it was really in a pond, there would be, right? Let's see, who had that? Logan and Corbin had that beautiful fishbowl, and then there was someone else that had the goldfish. Was that Abigail? Anyways, go ahead and do that, and then you're going to color it. So that fish, I don't care what color you color it. I'm going to do like a goldfish again. I have to go back and watch that. When we shared the pets, somebody did have a beautiful goldfish. I have to go back and watch, I forget. Okay, there's that. I could color this seaweed green. And parents, the coloring is extra. And the reason why is when we're in the classroom, the kids have about 15-20 minutes at each table. And some kids are speedy. So I always tell them to draw it first. Do all the work first. And then if they're done, I check their paper. And if they have extra time, I say to color. If they're pokey, if they're slow, if they're really taking their time, then we have to end up ringing the bell. We'll have to ring the bell and say, okay, all right, that's enough time. Now you guys are at home, you have lots of time. So you could just draw it, get the page done, and then go back and color it later. But the coloring is not as important, so I did a great job. I'm gonna make this kind of a happy face. I like to make the eyeballs. There, I can even put a nose there. I just don't put the circle around it. Okay, now I'm gonna go on. Now, this page is the hardest, but I do want to finish number 1. There's a lot of the things are the same on this page as they were the other page. You just see them in a different way. And the reason I included both of these pages, I want the kids to know that a 10 frame can go this direction, which is horizontal, and it can go vertical. And we use them both ways, all right? So again, you can write your name. I'm gonna write, you know what, to save time, can I write Mrs. J? I think you guys know who Mrs. J is, right? It's me. All right, now again, I'm gonna trace my ones. There's no dot this time, so I'm gonna put my finger down, and then I'm gonna make another 1. Now I'm gonna put my finger down and make the number 1. Put my finger down. Now these look beautiful because look, I put space in between. I start at the top and go through the dotted line down to the bottom, but you don't need to make, look. Okay, do you think those are nice ones? I don't, because some of them aren't straight, some of them don't touch the lines, and I went really, really fast. I would rather you make probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only maybe 6, instead of trying to make 100, okay? Now, this is a little bit hard. What I want to do is jump to the number line next. This is a number line. So you see, let's go backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What should go? What should go here? Okay, well, if we put a 1 here, what goes at the bottom? Where do the numbers start? We didn't talk about this last week, but the numbers really start on 0. And 0 is just like making a circle, right? So I start with 0 at the bottom and 1. So we really have to go over that with them because they want to start with 1 and then they'll end up skipping it. So these pages are going to build. We'll do another one for each number and they'll start getting the hang of it. They might need a little extra help, parents. So 0 and 1. Okay, now I want you to circle the number we're working on. So I'm going to circle number 1 on the number line. So let's start at the bottom. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It gets taller. We're working on 1. This gets fun when we get to the other numbers. Now this here says greater number. Okay, you're going to write a number that's bigger than 1. Okay, so I'm just going to write 2. And if the kids need help, go ahead. What's a number that's smaller than 1? There's only 1. The only thing that's smaller than 1 is nothing, right? Okay, 1, 0. We always start with 0. We don't always say it because 0 is not a counting number. Okay, but we have nothing, and then we have 1 more. All right, now it says a smaller number is 0. Yeah, I always thought these pages were a little difficult in the beginning, but then I'm always happy that I do them because it has a little number bond, and that is the only page we have with a number bond, and that's really important. All right, now it says to draw 1. I don't care what you draw. I have a little poem that's called 1, 1 is the sun. So I'm going to do 1 sun. You draw whatever you want. You could draw one rainbow, 1 cat, 1 dog, 1 car, 1 fish. All right, 1 heart. All right, now again, I'm going to color one of these, and you can again put it in your cup. Maybe it's going to come out differently this time. It did, didn't it? Now I want you to start on the left and the bottom. Okay, and that's important too. It'll be important later on, so we get the kids used to starting on the bottom. So this time my counter came out red. Okay, parents, this is the hardest part. I know this is only, our second week of school, but we are going to do something that we're going to do addition. So on the other page, I showed you that to make 1, I'm going to put this here in this circle. To make the number 1, there's 2 ways to make it. We could have 1 red and 0 yellow. Okay. And so I'm going to write that. We could have 1 red plus 0 yellow. I'm not even going to use the equals right now. Or we could have 0 red and 1 yellow. So this is called a number bond. These numbers are bond together. And I should have showed you that on the whiteboard board, but I promised to do that for 2 when we do our number talk. Okay, so this time here, and just go ahead, you can stop it, you can pause it, and you can just copy what I did. Parents, you can write it with a highlighter. I know that's a little hard, but it will get easier the more we do it. Now down at the bottom, do you see the ladybugs? I want you to only color 1. So I'm gonna color my cute little ladybug here. I can even put some black spots on it. Only 1. And we are done. I've got my marker here. I think I'll put a star on this page. All right, and this packet is finished. We have done, I think it was 2 or 6 pages. We're done with a number 1, and we can go on to what? What's the next number, boys and girls? After 1 comes 2. So we will go on to number 2. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.